There are 27 Muslim countries in the world that nobody else but a Muslim can buy property or land in them countries.
Give me one of them.
I cannot think of...
So you're about to hear what happens when a caller, armed with what he thinks are bombshell facts about Muslims, goes head to head with the facts. This is a masterclass in polite but brutal destruction. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. Now let's watch this together, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
Professor Matthew Goodwin, who has done this research, has come to the conclusion, based on census data, he has come to the conclusion that the white British share of the population, again, very critical to define our terms here, defined as, for this report, defined as people who do not have an immigrant parent, the white British share of the population could have fallen to by around a third, 33.7% by 2063. He says that's going to raise great concern. My question to you is, what concern? And why concern? Lenny's in Ashford. Lenny!
Good afternoon, Tom.
Squire.
Well, I am really concerned for my offspring that we are going to lose our religion and our Britishness. And it's got to happen.
It's got to happen?
Yes, well, if I think Sir Winston Churchill can explain it better than me. And he's I think, were wise words. Mm-hmm. When Muslims are in the minority, they are very concerned with minority rights. When they are in the majority, there are no minority rights. And that was the wise words of Winston Churchill.
I will check the wise words of Winston Churchill on that particular point, Lenny.
Yeah, please do.
But there is absolutely no suggestion, even if that were true, that there is going to be a majority Muslim country anytime soon here.
Well, I mean, the way the country is going, the Muslims already are priority over the indigenous people of our country.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's two-tier law, isn't it?
What does that mean?
There's double standards with our law and order at the moment in favour of the Muslim community.
Right. Tell me in what way, sir?
Well, if you watch, it's every day. There are, when you have a Muslim parade, they're allowed to get away with no arrest, nothing, and talk about their religion and the infidel, what they want to do with the infidels.
Which parade is this,
And then
Lenny?
when it comes to an English parade by patriots of this country, they're treated totally different.
Lenny, what parade is this that you've seen where chants about the infidels have been let out?
Well, when you see it, on the Saturday, nearly every week in London and the cities. When you see, we are only the basic religion of an infidel is that when they when possible, and they preach to kill infidels.
Lenny, you're right. There are people who use an extremist version of Islam, we normally call it Islamists, who preach some horrendous things about jihad and infidels and all that kind of stuff. Normally they're picked up by the police. Too often they're able to find a loophole or two that keeps them out of the prison cell for a long time. But the police are putting people like that behind bars.
Not often enough, Tom. When you look at the
but what about any of this, Lenny? By the way, the remark you attribute to Winston Churchill, I'm quoting here, Lee Pollock, the trustee and advisor to the board of the International Churchill Society, says, of the quote that you just gave, Lenny, it does not appear in any of his many books, articles or speeches, nor is there any attribution from a witness that he/she heard him say that.
Well, I personally read something by Winston Churchill, and I thought right. I'll save that for one day because that will come in handy.
And it's something that the trustee and advisor of the board of the International Churchill Society has not read?
Okay, well, put it this way then.
So you might be wrong. Do you think you might be wrong on that quote?
Well, if I am wrong, I am saying it because when you go to a Muslim country, you haven't got no rights.
So you haven't. Just to be clear, you are now not ascribing that quote to Churchill. You're telling me that you are saying it as something that you believe to be true.
Well, when I read it, it was signed by Winston Churchill, and if he didn't say it, if he did not,
it was signed by Winston Churchill.
My fear.
You saw it online, didn't you, Lenny? And you saw a signature of Winston Churchill underneath that quote with maybe a picture of Winston Churchill in the background. And you, in your head, you've said, "Oh my God, Winston Churchill signed this off and put it as a meme on Instagram."
Well, all right. If we agree to disagree on that, but I will say, you go to a Muslim country. When does infidels have the same rights as a Muslim?
What do you mean by infidel?
Non-Muslims
have the same rights.
There are 27 Muslim countries in the world that nobody else but a Muslim can buy property or land in them countries.
Give me one of them.
Well, a lot of them are in Africa, and
give me one.
Hold on, which one was it?
Well, it was the same one that was underneath the Winston Churchill post, probably.
No, it wasn't. Let me. No, I'll tell you something.
Okay.
I cannot think of the country itself, but no. But when you hold on, where does everybody go for holidays? Muslim countries, Oh dear! I'm sorry, Tom.
Don't you worry, Lenny. It's very hard. I understand if you come on national radio and you ascribe quotes to a former prime minister that turns out not to be true, and then you can't think of a single country in Africa to back up your point that there are 27 countries in which that. I can understand that that's a very difficult thing. If it's all right with you, I'm going to leave it there because, thank you for the call.
What an absolute clown! Let's break down what just happened. Notice Tom's strategy. He doesn't yell, he doesn't insult. He just asks simple, devastating questions. And the caller Lenny, who I've heard many, many times call LBC, comes in with two main Yali doesn't insult what he just asks facts. First, the Winston Churchill quote. Yali doesn't insult. When Muslims are in the minority, they're concerned with minority rights. When they are in the majority, when Muslims are in the minority rights. It sounds profound, right? But it's also break down what just happened. And Tom pulls up the receipts immediately, quoting when Muslims are in the minority, who confirms it's a fabrication. And then this is where it gets worse for Lenny. After his primary source is exposed as a lie, and then this is where he gets what he saw on a Facebook meme, he pivots to another huge claim that there are 27 Muslim countries where non-Muslims can't afford to buy land. Or can't buy land, should I say. So then Tom asks him simply, give me one of them. And he can't. Then Tom asks him simply, give me to state that there are 27 of these countries, but he can't name a single one. He just fumbles, stammers, says a lot of them are in Africa, can't name a single one. And this is the life cycle of political poison. It starts as a lie in a dark corner of the internet, gets dressed up as a meme with a picture of a historical figure, and ends up being repeated as fact on national radio with a picture of a historical figure want it to be true. Lenny wasn't just wrong. He's actually just give me another victim and another vehicle for propaganda. Says a lot of them are in Africa. Tom, thankfully, stopped him in his tracks. Then Tom asks, so what are your thoughts about this? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for more. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching.